So I got rid of some clothes recently that was weighing down my life and making it take longer for me to get dressed. I ain't about that life. Now, in getting rid of that clothing, I, as well as you, because you know it's not all about me, it's about us, we're gonna save ourselves some time and some money. And there are a couple of other things that I learned when I got rid of these clothing, which I'm gonna tell you about right now. So first things first, I need to look into some sort of like rental clothing service when it comes to photo shoots, television appearances, like special occasions where I obviously need clothes for, but I'm not necessarily gonna need to keep those clothing because some of the pieces that I did get rid of were pieces that were my style. I liked them, but you know, maybe it was for a photo shoot, like this photo shoot here where I had on this orange dress, and it's like, that orange dress is amazing, but really, where am I gonna wear that again? Like when, you know what I mean? And then I got rid of this green dress that I wore in Dr. Oz, and whew, this dress is pretty, but it did not come off as nicely on television as I thought it should have. So as an influencer, I, you know, need pictures and photos and things like that. I don't need pictures and photos, but they are beneficial to the influencer lifestyle. And plus, I like having my picture taken. So the thing is, when I go shopping for stuff for a photo shoot, I wind up with something that I like, but not necessarily something that I can wear over and over again. And from the many purges I've done over the years, I have learned what are the pieces that I like to wear over and over again. And I only want pieces that I can wear over and over again in my closet, right? So now I take fewer of those like street style photos, which I actually really like doing. However, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck here. I did find myself sometimes buying things to, you know, kind of spruce things up when it came to those type of photos. And I ain't trying to be about that life. I'm trying to keep my closet down to a minimum with stuff in it that I'm gonna wear over and over again. So instead I need to look into either renting or borrowing clothing. Now there's Rent the Runway. Last I looked at Rent the Runway, they had a lot more options. I may not necessarily get some of the like statement pieces that I'm looking for certain skincare shoots, but that's an option. I also need to look into my contacts, like to see what brands and designers that I know that can let me borrow something for a shoot, and you know, I just wear it for the shoot and give it back. I like that because then someone else who may need it could wear it and give it back. So it's all about keeping my photo shoot cast-offs out of the landfills. You know what I'm saying? Number two, my vacation style has got to be more interchangeable with my everyday wear and not veer off too much from my personal style. So a lot of times when I go on trips, you know, I do try to, you know, plan it out a month or 2 months in advance, but that doesn't always work. I get busy, time slips, I order stuff and it doesn't work out, and it's just like, oh my God, what am I gonna wear? I gotta wear something. And I'm trying to get out of that because a lot of the things that I wound up getting rid of were like vacation cast-offs. Things that, you know, they were nice, but were they Danielle? No. So what I learned is that I need to shop for vacation season even if I don't have a vacation planned, which doesn't really make sense because sometimes you shop for the specific destination, because what if I'm buying stuff for like Cabo San Lucas and then wind up going to Iceland? You know what I mean? So that's gonna be a lot of work. I don't know how I'm gonna work that out. But what I do need to like keep in mind when I'm shopping for vacation pieces is that, you know, aside from bathing suits, and shoot, there's some bathing suits out now that can double as tops, so might be able to do that as well. But so aside from things like cover-ups and things that are obviously for like a vacation, whatever I'm buying needs to be interchangeable with my regular summer attire, which can be a little hard because sometimes you want to do the most when it comes to vacation. So this is one where I'm like, I'm learning some things, but this is probably going to be something that I'm going to have to keep on working on, and I'm probably going to keep making mistakes in this realm. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, number 3, I ain't buying no more safe items. And by safe items, they're still cute, but it's not really like giving Danielle, right? And it's funny too, because the safe item is like the same thing that I got in like 3 different colors. So I got this green Zara dress that I wore to Dr. Oz, this white Zara dress that I wore in a photo shoot in my apartment, and then this yellow tangerine kind of colored dress that I bought for vacation and I never even wore. It still has the tags on it. So from now on, I'm only picking fun and flirty pieces in my wardrobe, even when it comes to basic. Now, I understand why I was buying these safe items, because I had gained weight somewhere after the 2016 election, which I'm sure you can probably, you know, relate to. As from gaining weight, my style did kind of change during that time. And then now that I'm, been working out with a trainer since the beginning of 2020 and, trying to eat a little better, now, I'm more comfortable in wearing things that are a little bit more, this keeps riding up, but it's supposed to like give that kind of moment. Now you might be like, oh, Danielle, that's a perfectly fine dress, but I'm like, it's not screaming Danielle, you know what I mean? And you would have to know me to know what I mean. But look at this white dress from Zara, right? It's nice, it's alright. But then look at this outfit that I wore for my birthday. Like, okay, now a birthday outfit is obviously going to be more, it's my birthday. However, I think you can tell what I mean by looking at these different styles here. Number 4, I just said that I'm saving money, but in number 4, I'm about to kind of almost contradict that by saying that I need to spend more money on clothing. Now, what I mean here is that certain pieces that I need to invest in. So for instance, I like, cute tops like this one here. And this one is probably an example of something where, I got this from Forever 21. It's cute or whatever. Like got little, bell sleeves on it or whatever. It's very cute. However, this top is probably not gonna last me that long. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of things, I probably got 1, maybe 2 seasons out of this. I mean, it is kind of a stretchy material, and if I wash it in cold water and, let it hang to dry, I could probably, stretch the life out of this. However, I got rid of a lot of tops that, the little threads was hanging out, and, they look a little dingy and stuff like that. So when it comes to those type of pieces, I need to, spend a little bit more, even if it means not having as many tops, but, move up there in the quality. Now, when I do it up in the quality, yeah, I'm probably spending more money than I don't know how much I paid for this top, maybe like $20 from Forever 21. The top that I wore for my birthday was about $300 from Mara Hoffman. Now, that obviously cost per wear probably won't. But also, we aren't going to conflate the fact that if you spend more, you'll get better quality, because there's some things that you spend a little bit more money on that the quality ain't worth a damn. And of course, you can always get a deal. Like you can get things on sale, or you can get something thrifted, on consignment, what have you, that it's a good quality, but you just didn't pay that much. So I need to be thinking about that more so than, quality over quantity. Now, normally I probably wouldn't have bought them tops in the first place because I knew that mess wasn't gonna last. However, I was kind of like dibble-dabbling with my style. So I was in a transition with my style as well as a transition with my weight. And I didn't want to spend that much money anyways. So, lesson learned. Now I know what I like when it comes to tops, and I know how to act accordingly. So the 5th thing that I learned, and Lord, if you've been following me for a while, you're gonna be like, damn, dog. So number 5, I realized that I'm no longer as in love with prints as I used to be. Now that may come as a shocker, but for those of you who don't know me as well, I love prints. I love mixing prints. I just love them, right? But I think since I've moved into this new apartment and like my aesthetic kind of is very like the muted neutral, warm tone neutral, that kind of transferred into my personal style as well. So I'm kind of on a neutral, warm neutral phase when it comes to my wardrobe right now. And this isn't to say that I will never wear a print, because, never say never. But they're not really something that I gravitate towards as much as I used to. I'm definitely more of a, let me get a beige, let me get a brown, let me get a dark brown, Color, I like color as well. Will always love color, but solid colors, you know? The prints, not right now. So every time I purge, I learn something new about my style. My first big purge was maybe about 15, 20 years ago. Or maybe closer to 15 years ago. I was probably like 23, 24. So it's like that phase where you're out of college, you're going into the real world, and then, you know, things kind of change with your wardrobe. I was wearing more suits because back then I worked in finance, and it was a whole thing. Anyway, so at that time I was going through a huge transition. So first, you know, I was going from the college girl who went shopping every weekend. I went to Hofstra University, and every weekend or in between classes or something, I would find my behind at Roosevelt Field Mall buying mess that I didn't need. Like them $200 designer jeans, I was buying them mess like it was bottles of water for whatever reason. Like I wouldn't spend, well, never say never, but I'm not likely one to be buying $200 jeans every other day like I did back in my 20s. I used to buy so much clothing back then. And the thing is, I would have so much clothing and still have nothing to wear because I had no idea what I had in my closet, right? So I finally did this big purge, and that was one of the things that really got my eyes open to, girl, you spending way too much money on clothes. And then when you see the amount of clothing that you spent your hard-earned money on that you barely wear, you start getting mad, or at least I did. I was like, girl, you about to square up because this don't even make no sense. But from that big purge, I learned that, like, okay, I need to slow down with what I'm buying. And I do little purges every year since then. And each time I learn something new. And another thing that I've been good at with all of these purges over the years is buying things that I love. If I don't love it, I do not keep it. Now I do most of my shopping, I would say a good 95 to 98% of my shopping online. So sometimes I do get things that, you know, they look good online, but by the time I got it here, it's like, what the heck is this? I will return that. I have friends who buy things online and be like, oh, I don't feel like returning it, so I just kept it. What? I do not understand that line of thinking. If it don't fit, it must have quit. Like, give me my money back. You will not be keeping my money off some mess that I'm not gonna wear. So no matter how little, it could be something that was $5. If it doesn't look good, well, if it's $5 and then it's like $10 to return it in the mail, obviously that doesn't make any sense. So I'll donate something like that or give it to a friend. But I'm not keeping anything that I don't absolutely love. If I don't love it, I need to go back. Now, if you're kind of like, you know, this purging thing, I don't really like my clothes, but I can't give them up and this, that, and the third, I have a video on why you hate your clothes that I highly suggest you watching. It's right here. I'll see you in it, and let's get chitty-chatty in the comments. Tell me all about your purging in your wardrobe in the comments below.